So if you didn't know, Google really wants RCS or Rich Communication Service support on the iPhone to help improve Android messaging across that OS divide, and thanks to a huge Get the Message campaign, Apple is facing increased pressure to upgrade its messaging practices. What does this mean, and could it work? Well, let's find out. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Google here on YouTube. Remember to thumbs up, hit subscribe, and then tap the bell icon to be among the first to watch our upcoming videos. For the past year, maybe a little longer, Google has been increasingly and publicly calling out Apple for not adopting RCS, or Rich Communication Services, on its iPhone platform. If you're unaware, RCS is effectively meant to replace SMS and MMS across smartphones. Think of it as an overdue upgraded text messaging for the smartphone era, which you could argue should have been implemented about a decade ago. RCS has a number of technical advancements that outright improve your messaging experience. If Apple were to implement it, it would drastically improve the messaging experience between Android and iOS users, which is technically going to be a benefit to all. Apple's clear, tight grip and a closed approach to iMessage, though, means that texting between iPhone and Android is just painful in 2022, and that is because of reliance on the incredibly outdated SMS and MMS, which are limited technologies, especially compared to rich services like iMessage itself, WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal, and more. They're fine as a last resort, SMS and MMS that is, or a fallback that many of you out there love to state, but not in the main way that Android and iOS devices should be communicating, at least last decade, not this decade. Conversely, RCS allows for higher res attachments, given the use of a cloud backend, on top of better group chatting with extra controls, sending things over data, typing indicators, and the all-important end-to-end encryption, plus a few more things to boot. What's more, RCS is now supported by carriers worldwide, and by integrating directly into Google Messages, the application itself, which is the default on a vast array of Android phones all over the world, but not all, Google has said that there's now 500 million monthly active users as of May 2022. That's not bad, given the dominance of services like WhatsApp in vast areas of the planet. Of course, Apple does not support RCS in any form within its default and pre-installed Messages application on iPhones, which is the home of iMessage. At this point, we all know the green bubbles thing is a meme and a point of derision and disdain, and Google has even highlighted this with an unofficial explainer for Text Go Green by Drake, which only affects Android users or blocked iPhone users when trying to message using iMessage or Messages. Google's new Get the Message pressure campaign, though, has been launched in the hope that Apple will change its mind on RCS. There's no request for iMessage for Android, which we're sure some of you out there would love. That is more than likely never going to happen. But adopting a common standard means the experience when messaging between platforms using default methods would provide a big jump up in quality. Google is just effectively blanketing social media with all of the kinds of problems and even testimonials from owners, things like low resolution photos and videos when sent from Android to iOS, bad group chat experiences, no texting Android users, over Wi-Fi or data, broke accessibility standards, a lack of typing indicators, and the absence of end-to-end encryption for that extra security that Apple really does love to bang on about. As it stands, the simple fact is that these problems are all actually due to Apple's continued use of the outdated SMS and MMS formats for non-iMessage conversations. Google positions the modern industry standard RCS as the new solution. Notably, the company's ask is rather specific in that it just wants Apple to adopt RCS for messaging between Android and iOS. And this literally will not change iMessage iPhone to iPhone conversations and echoes previous comments about not wanting iMessage for Android. Google is somewhat rightly asking for Apple to support a modern standard, something that the Cupertino firm is often quick to do in lots of other areas of its business, but seemingly drags its heels when it comes to communicating with people outside of the iPhone and iOS bubble. And that not only benefits Android, it actually benefits iPhone and iOS in equal measure. There are absolutely no downsides to simply adopting a better, newer, faster, more competent and secure standard for mobile communications. Many non-US Android and iPhone users are probably still confused after watching this video. Cross-platform messaging services like WhatsApp and Telegram, they dominate, and sure, using those services negates the problems we've just mentioned. However, wouldn't it be better for Apple to adopt a better standard that gives people more choice and doesn't ruin the core communication experience? We definitely would be very much behind that decision. So as we mentioned, Google has created a dedicated Get the Message microsite, which you can find in the link below, where you can support by actually tweeting Apple directly. I would though love to know what you think of this. Do you think it will work, and do you think Apple will bow to pressure to adopt RCS as another messaging standard? I'd also really love to know how you've dealt with messaging across the mobile OS divide, Android to iOS and iOS to Android. Let me know down in the comment sections below. It's always interesting to hear how people get around this, but it does seem to be a regional problem, specifically in the US. But that said, if there's more options, that's always a good thing. But as always, this is Damien with 95 Google saying thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.